With Elimination Chamber in the rearview mirror and WWE officially on the road to WrestleMania, that can only mean one thing. It's time for the yearly wrestling game to step into the ring, and this year that responsibility falls on WWE 2K26. Now, last year's entry did something pretty important for the franchise. It restored a lot of confidence in the series. After a few rocky years, WWE 2K25 proved the developers could still deliver a fun and feature-packed wrestling game, so WWE 2K26 had a pretty tough challenge ahead of it. Does it build on that momentum, or does it trip over the top rope during its own entrance? Well, after spending plenty of time throwing opponents into flaming rings, slamming people onto thumbtacks, and managing my own chaotic wrestling universe, I can safely say this: WWE 2K26 is another really solid entry in the series. It's not perfect, and there are definitely a few design choices that might raise an eyebrow or two, or maybe a full rock style eyebrow raise, but overall, it's a very fun wrestling sandbox. Thankfully, WWE 2K26 continues the trend of smooth and accessible gameplay. The controls are intuitive and easy to learn, and even if you haven't played the series in a few years, it doesn't take long to shake off the ring rust. Within minutes, I was reversing finishes, hitting combos, and generally committing acts of wrestling violence like I'd never stopped playing. The animation quality is still strong, and the presentation does a great job recreating the feel of a WWE broadcast. One of the cooler additions this year is pre-match interactions. Before the bell rings, you can now choose how you want to start the match. You can hype up the crowd, rush your opponent immediately, have a tense stare down, or even offer a respectful handshake, which is nice, until your opponent slaps your hand away and immediately clotheslines you. Honestly, it adds a surprising amount of personality before the match even begins, and it helps the game feel a bit more like actual WWE television. Of course, no wrestling game is complete without a ridiculous number of match types, and WWE 2K26 adds several new ones. These include Inferno matches, dumpster matches, I Quit matches, and the return of 3 stages of hell. Let's talk about the Inferno match because it's easily the most entertaining. Yes, the ring is surrounded by fire, because sometimes regular wrestling just isn't dramatic enough. As the match goes on, the flames intensify until eventually the entire ringside area looks like the final boss stage of a video game. The goal is simple: throw your opponent through the flames. Earlier in the match, you can still fight outside the ring, which keeps things interesting. If you were stuck inside the ropes the entire time, it would probably get boring pretty fast. Some of the new match types introduce minigame mechanics, which might divide players a bit, but overall they add some fun variety. And honestly, wrestling games are supposed to be chaotic. If things aren't a little ridiculous, are we even doing wrestling right? Speaking of chaos, WWE 2K26 introduces new weapons, including shopping carts, which honestly feels like something that should have been in the series years ago. You can also use thumbtacks, which are exactly as painful as you'd expect. You can smack your opponent with the bag, dump the tacks onto the mat, and then slam them straight into it, and the commentary team reacts to it. This year's commentary team includes Booker T and Wade Barrett, and they actually call out moments like landing a move on the tacks. Little details like that go a long way toward making matches feel more immersive. One of WWE 2K26's biggest selling points is the massive roster. We're talking around 400 superstars, making it the biggest roster in the history of the series. Now, yes, that probably includes alternate versions and different eras of certain wrestlers, but still, it's huge. Between current stars, NXT talent, and legends from previous eras, you can recreate almost any time period in WWE history. Or you can do what I did and book completely ridiculous dream matches, because sometimes you just want to see what happens when legends collide with modern stars, and sometimes you just want chaos, mostly chaos. Now, unfortunately, we do have to talk about the AAA Pass, also known as the Ringside Pass. This is essentially WWE 2K26's version of a battle pass. There are 2 progression tracks: a free lane, a premium lane. As you play matches and modes throughout the game, you earn XP and unlock rewards across 40 levels. Now, the good news is that the pass never expires, which means you can complete it whenever you want. That's actually a really player-friendly decision compared to most battle passes. The bad news, a lot of the game's content is locked behind this progression system. Some characters, arenas, and bundles don't unlock until much later levels. For example, Hollywood Hogan doesn't unlock until level 39, which is slightly awkward considering he's on the cover of the Monday Night Wars edition of the game. So yeah, that part feels a little questionable. It's not a deal breaker, but it does feel like the series dipping its toes a bit deeper into monetization. This year's showcase mode focuses on the career of CM Punk, and to be fair, Punk's involvement is one of the highlights of the entire mode. He narrates the matches himself and often breaks the fourth wall to talk directly to the player. It feels genuine, personal, and surprisingly engaging. You'll play through a mix of career highlights, alternate outcomes, dream matches. One of the coolest scenarios asks, what if CM Punk faced Stone Cold Steve Austin? And honestly, fantasy matchups like that are exactly what this mode should be doing. However, the gameplay challenges in Showcase can occasionally be frustrating. Some objectives require very specific actions within time limits, and sometimes the AI decides that today is the day it counters absolutely everything you do, which can turn an epic match into a slightly annoying retry simulator. Another returning feature is the Island, which has been expanded quite a bit this year. Last year, players were trying to impress Roman Reigns, but this time around, Roman is out of the picture and 3 factions are battling for control. These include Order of Anarchy led by CM Punk, Order of Shadows led by Rhea Ripley, and Order of Tradition led by Cody Rhodes. The characters are now fully voiced, which already makes the mode feel more immersive. The central area has also been replaced by a new location called the Scrapyard, which adds vertical combat areas and elevated platforms. So yes, you can now perform extremely risky wrestling moves from very high places, which sounds like exactly the kind of thing WWE would approve. Next up is MyFACTION, the card-based team mode. This mode introduces a team chemistry system, meaning certain wrestler combinations work better together. Intergender matches are also now possible here, but the biggest change is the swap system. You can instantly switch between 2 wrestlers mid-match. Each superstar has their own health bar, but they share signature and finisher meters. It makes matches faster and more strategic, even if the teleport style swapping looks a little like someone just pressed the beam me up button. For many players though, the real star of the show is Universe mode, and honestly, it's fantastic. Universe mode is basically the ultimate wrestling sandbox. You can control WWE as it exists now, or create your own promotion from scratch, design championships, create rivalries, book entire shows, and this year adds some nice upgrades. Menus load faster, navigation is smoother, and setting up your shows feels far less tedious than it used to. But the best addition is the WWE draft system. You can now run drafts, trade superstars between brands, and completely reshape your roster. It adds a level of management strategy that makes Universe mode even more addictive. Unfortunately, MyRISE is where things stumble a bit. This year's story focuses on a superstar returning to WWE after taking a year away, which sounds like a promising setup, but the writing often swings between bland and cringeworthy. The cutscenes are long, the dialogue drags on, and some of the facial animations look a little strange. At one point, my custom character looked less like a wrestler and more like a sleep paralysis demon. So yeah, not ideal. There are some interesting branching choices, but overall this mode struggles to stay engaging. At the end of the day, WWE 2K26 is a very good wrestling game. The gameplay feels polished, the roster is enormous. Modes like Universe, Showcase, and the various match types offer tons of content. Sure, the AAA Pass system raises some questions, and MyRISE could definitely be better, but when you're actually in the ring, hitting finishes, throwing people into flaming arenas, and booking dream matches, it's hard not to have fun. So with all that said, WWE 2K26 gets an 8 out of 10, but now I want to hear from you. What do you think about WWE 2K26? Are you loving the new match types and massive roster? Or are you not a fan of the new Battle Pass system? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this review, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.